Prior to Splunk, I was an executive partner and then a team leader of executive partners at Gartner, an IT research and advisory firm. In that role, I was able to tap into what was previously a 24-year career as a naval officer and also a federal government civilian. I wouldn't say that I have been a technology well, in fact, I would definitely say I have not been a technology expert or leader for my entire career. In fact, for the majority of my naval career, I drove ships and I flew helicopters, but it was my last 8 years in the government, in the Pentagon, where I shifted into the CIO world, the Chief Information Officer world, and more specifically into a cybersecurity focus. I'm a people person, and I believe that it's, of course, I didn't make up this phrase, but I truly believe it. It's people, process, and technology that will help organizations move forward and continue to be effective and competitive in this world of a data revolution, as we call it at Splunk. So those relationships are very important to me personally. I'm an extrovert. I like people. I like engaging publicly and in small groups and in large groups, but also as a company, the personal engagement that we've had from the Billington CyberSecurity Summit has allowed us to really relate on a personal level with the leaders across the federal government and in industry to help forge relationships, forge partnerships, be better together. And it works. The world is completely different now than it was even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, in terms of the partnership between government and industry. And it will only get stronger when people realize they can trust each other, they can relate to each other as human beings. And that's what Billington gives to us. I would put the Billington cybersecurity experience at the very top. Before I left government for industry, I would hear about this Billington CyberSecurity Summit, but I wasn't at a level that I didn't participate in it. I just heard about it. Leaders would say, oh, put this on my calendar, or this is what I'm going to be doing in this week in September or October, whenever the event was. And I always wondered what exactly it was. Then when I moved to industry, I realized that there are many ways that companies can sponsor and be involved in marketing events and get our message out there. But it wasn't until I came to Splunk and was offered the opportunity to be the Splunk participant or be a Splunk participant in the Billington events and the large events and the smaller like dinners and roundtables, et cetera, that I really started to see that it truly is different. It's one thing to sponsor an organization that gives us access to be on a panel, be one of several speakers, for example. Those are very valuable. But I like the additional element that Billington provides with the Leadership Council, the breakfast events that are under Chatham House rule, where people can just speak honestly about their challenges and their opportunities in the cybersecurity space. The social events related to or associated with the Billington Summit, Billington CyberSecurity Summit itself, events at the embassy. These are deliverables and benefits of sponsoring with Billington CyberSecurity Summit that I don't see with other organizations. This year, I was thrilled to help sponsor, support a women's breakfast associated with the Billington CyberSecurity Summit. And I was thrilled about it for several different reasons. One, I think there's definitely value in bringing women leaders together, particularly those in the cybersecurity space, because there aren't enough of us. And women come in and out of that ecosystem, that community, with regularity. And it's really important to build and maintain relationships, to keep sharing ideas and sharing experiences in that small subset of a cybersecurity community. From a personal standpoint, it was fantastic because I was able to provide access, let's say, to some personal connections that I have of very senior women across the government and cybersecurity, particularly at the three-letter agencies, and bring those people, those leaders, to the Billington cybersecurity community. It was also a great surprise, a pleasant surprise, to see so many other senior women that we often think of as untouchable, oh, she'll never respond to me. We can't get a meeting with her. There were several of those women in that room, and they were there just enjoying the conversation and sharing contact information at the table, sharing ideas, laughing, lamenting with all the rest of us. I think it's really important for leaders at that senior level to be human and to interact with other people with like-minded professional interests and personal interests. And that's where we build the relationships. That's where we really can make the government stronger, by tying together industry and government leaders. And the women's breakfast was certainly a place to do that. One thing that I've really enjoyed about the Billington cybersecurity events is that the breakfast, the leadership council, the social events around the cybersecurity summit and the summit itself give me and Splunk access to people in our greater partner ecosystem. Often those speaking engagements are around customers or potential customers, people that we would like to be our customers. But Billington cybersecurity has given me exposure to people who come from companies that Splunk either partners with or would like to partner with to deliver better solutions to government. Because no one company, no one vendor can do that alone. No, not a single one of them has the corner of any market on all the technology support that the government needs. Specifically with Zero Trust, I'll mention, there are the pillars of Zero Trust within the Zero Trust architecture. So again, when I have a conversation with someone about what Splunk can do to deliver on Zero Trust, it's better when I can say, and we also have this partner or these partners that help round out a solution that can help the government get to a Zero Trust future. And Billington has been fantastic for that. It allows that personal one-on-one engagement with those partners, industry partners or SIs, integrator partners, to figure out how we can best work together to deliver the solutions that the government needs. I am frustrated that the world today is different than it was 2 years ago. I understand that that's just how it is. One thing that I've enjoyed seeing with Billington CyberSecurity Summit is that they have leaned forward in starting to bring back some of the in-person events, even if they can't be the large thousands of people in the conference room or hundreds of people in an ambassador's residence, for example. That will come, that will come soon. But the Billington team has been creative in figuring out how to add some more of the in-person element to what is a difficult virtual environment. One example is the women's breakfast during the Billington CyberSecurity Summit last year. The room probably had not 100 people, maybe 50, but it was in person. It was separated. There were social distance. There were, requirements for vaccination, et cetera. But that was a nice baby step towards what we hope are larger in-person events in the future. Hats off to the Billington team for being creative, for finding a way to either have a fully in-person smaller event or a more creative hybrid event for people who do want to be virtual and also those who want to be in person. It's been really fun to be a part of. I appreciate that the Billington team is inclusive in how they make decisions about those events. They ask members what we are most comfortable with. They ask for feedback and input. And to me, that's another thing that differentiates the Billington cybersecurity team from others, that they're open to what their customers want and get the best value from. I found the Leadership Council breakfast meetings to be one of the most valuable elements of sponsoring Billington CyberSecurity Summit. It has been so refreshing to see, number one, people coming back in person, and also a well-moderated event. It starts with plenty of time for networking and mingling. Then we move into a speaker who, I have to say, the Billington team is able to attract and bring in some of the most senior leaders in government cybersecurity, far beyond what other organizations are able to bring in. And that has been really impressive. It speaks well for the Billington team, and it speaks well for the cybersecurity leadership out there that they're willing to come share their ideas. So I always try to make those events because I know that I'm going to get a lot of value out of them. It's been really nice to see the group grow as well. It's it's not the same people that show up to every event. So I'm always able to meet new people, learn new ideas, share my ideas, and just to grow my personal network, in addition to the Splunk network with customers and partners. That leadership council is truly one of the best value elements of the sponsorship.